Can you see my screen? Leave a message. And I really apologize this time because, again, some funny things happened this time as well. All right. And thank you for your patience. I think I am live now. Give me a second. I will set everything. I had to restart everything actually. I don't know what funny thing happened and my stream broke out and all right. So if you see here, like, so most of you guys might be interested from where I started. So it was in 2019 December, like this period when after my exams we have got IT trainings in Excel. Okay, we have to go through that, so that we can head towards our CA articleship when I was pursuing chartered accountancy course. So what happens is after fourth or fifth day when we have got basics of Excel and everything, now comes the topic of nested ifs, right? So this was a classic example where they will give us like income tax and income tax brackets and will ask us how we can calculate it. And it was similarly after my 3 years of articleship when we have to go again some advanced IT training. Honestly, I will be giving disclaimer. This is not a, you can say, a income tax session right now where I won't be discussing about deductions and those kind of stuff and what brackets I have taken. I have just simply taken the new tax regime that is right now in under section 115 BAC. So I will be taking these tax brackets, and this is my income. And please, let's not go into the discussion of what is total income, gross income, or net income. I'm just simply taking this income, and I will be figuring out how we can calculate tax. Okay, so I hope you have got the gist of what we will be discussing, and we will be also discussing how can we use new approaches in our Excel. So you can say in a way we can improve our day-to-day work life, and in the end of the day we will be seeing how we can replicate the same thing and make a custom function so that we don't have to go from this wall, you can say, efforts and everything again and again. So let's go with the basic concept and we will figure out how I used to calculate it when I was in that training session. So this is the way you will see on income tax site in India. And what we are going to do is we are going to make our own way to calculate tax. So first, let me do what we. This is just for basics so that we can understand what is the logic behind the scenes. So what we will be doing is I am going to make my simple a text brackets kind of thing. And from here I will be starting, you can say, okay, let's go. Let's directly do that. I don't think I will be needing this right now. So what we can do is let's just say this is my helper column and let me use so that we understand where I will be using helpers. So what we will be doing is simply we will be calculating a running total tax. Okay. So what will be the tax if my income is 6 lakhs here? So what will be the maximum tax I will be paying? So what am I going to do is I'm simply going to, because this is zero, so I won't need it. 1 second. Yeah. So what am I going to do? Simply 6 lakhs minus 3 lakhs into the rate, and that's it. So if my income is 6 lakh, what will be my maximum tax will be? 1 second. Yeah. So what will be my maximum tax will be this 30,000 in this bracket. And what do I need to figure out is I won't be needing this one. So let's go this way and let me remove this much part as well because I won't be needing it right now. So, but this is not correct, right? We will be needing the running total. So what am I going to do? I'm simply adding the my previous total, right? And you will see here, if I'm going to pay, I have income 15 lakhs, so I will be paying around 1 lakh 50,000. Okay, I will be using Indian denomination. Okay, but it's all fine. You can say 150K in your currency. So that's kind of thing we will be paying. and let's see how we were taught and how many templates of for tax calculation are using this approach. So what will be my tax? Let one second. Yeah. So if you see here, now people starts going crazy. I am not going to use the if function. It will be too complicated right now, and we will be confused in the brackets as well. So instead, I am just going with the if function. That will be very much straightforward. All right. So if my income will be less than 60,000, less than you can say 3 lakhs. So what will be my tax will be? It will be zero. Okay. And then if my income is again less than you can say 6 lakhs, right? So now what will be my income will be? It will be 6 lakhs minus, one second. Yeah. If it is this way, right? So it will be my current income minus 3 lakhs into rate, and that's it, right? So this will be my income, and then additional you can say the 15,000 amount, 15000. And what am I going to do is I'm just simply pressing F9 because that's how we were taught, and this is how you can do one by one step. And let's just go one step more, and we have corrected this much, then less than 9 lakhs. Yeah, right, I know. One second, I made mistakes. If my income is less than this 9 lakhs, so what it will be? It will be my income minus my last bracket income, and then my taxation will be 1%, 10 percentage in plus my that running total, right? So it will be 45,000, and that's it. And let me make it this way. I'm not going to do the whole thing, and you can get the idea, right? So what we are doing is doing one by one, and you know, right, how time consuming it is and how irritating is it is at the same time. One second. Yeah. So I am also getting confused because I never use this approach actually. Income minus my lower bracket into 15 percentage plus 90K. Or you can also use this trick, okay, 9E4. And I will tell you in a minute what this trick is. And then finally, my income has raised less than 15, yeah, 15 lakhs. So what I'm going to do, if my income is less than 15,000, then let's come here. Then it will be this income. Once again, my income minus this into zero point 0.2 plus connected that, right? 1.5 E5. And let's go directly. If nothing is true, then I am simply going to go for this way. Once again, I think I made a mistake somewhere. 4590. All right, I don't know where I made a mistake. Well, let's this 45 I've covered. Yeah. All right, let me see the chat if someone can identify where I made a mistake. One second, okay? Okay. So I don't know what I will do is I'm simply going to copy this wall thing which I've done so that you can understand what was actually happening. One second. This is M5. So I'm going to replace it with Z5. Okay, this is not changing. Yeah. So that's how actually the wall process happens. And even I am getting confused right now because I have honestly never used this approach. So you can see how this is going and why I have multiplied 1.04. That is the sales that we normally Indian government charges. Okay. So that's how the wall process actually happens, and you can check out it as well. So let's what we will do is I will show you at as well how we can match it. So you can come here, income tax portal, and let's go directly. The tax calculator here. Yeah. And just I'm writing and no deductions. Great. And you will see here 62400, right? So that's how it happens. And that's how complicated normally I have seen in the templates. And if I go to change anything, it will literally take a lot of time to understand everything what has happened here. And that's why I don't like the if function, nested ifs, and it sucks many times. And I will be telling you the trick which I was telling you, that if I am saying 1.5 E5, it will happen is it will add 5 zeros here. The moment I do that, it you will see here. Okay, I have turned off that as well. So let me convert to number, and you will see it is a scientific notation, right? The moment you go into the general tab, you will see it is 1.5 lakhs, okay, 150K. So that's how you can also use, instead of writing big zeros, so you have got the idea what you are writing. All right, so this is one of the approaches you can use for calculating income tax, and what I've seen is 90% of the templates use this approach, and it is so much confusing. So let me tell you what I used to do when I didn't had, you can say, Office 365. So what I used to do. So let me tell you one of the ways which I used to do. So this is a similar way. I have calculated the running, you can say, the taxations, and then now I will tell you a quick approach how it is can be very easily. So that is my running. And then what you can do is you can use index match or you can use XLOOKUP. So right now I am bit flexible with XLOOKUP. So I am going with the XLOOKUP. You can even use, you can say VLOOKUP or index match. So that's what we can do is just see my income is 10 lakhs, right? So what am I going to do? This is my whole taxation. Okay. And you can see here, mm, one second. Yeah. So you can see here, this is the way I can do, right? So I can select everything and let me write something this way as well. So I will be adding one bracket here, zero for amount zero. Okay. So that we have got a sorted list for our brackets and we will be using our approximate VLOOKUP kind of thing. So you can use this way. This is my income. And what am I going to do? I'm just selecting this bracket. Got it? My lookup array is this. And let's go for the taxation part. And because 10 lakhs will be going for the 9 lakhs, right? Because I will be adding 45,000 there. So that's why if nothing is found, then I will be adding, you simply, you can say the, one second. I think I am getting confused here as well. So one second. Give me some time. Yeah. So this will be right. I am right. One second. Okay. So what we are going to do is I'm going to shift my tax rates as well, and this will be my 30 percentage. Okay. So now let's go with this way. This is my income, and what I'm going to figure it out is my lower bound, right? And this will be my bound. I am again going to select this way, and if not found, then it will be simply my 15 lakhs. Okay, because that will be my maximum, right? And that's how I'm going to do. My 15 lakhs is all fine. And let's go with one by one way my smaller amount. And you can see here I've got my lower bound. And if I'm going to select, you can say 15 lakhs or in other way 1,050,000 thousand if I'm correct. So you can get the idea. All right. So you can see this will be my lower bound, right? And let's go with the 16 lakhs kind of thing. You can see here it is not changing, right? So that's how I wanted. Okay. Even if you won't mention it, it is all fine. This will be my lower bound. And let's go next step. So what I need to figure out is my taxation part. So my tax rate, and what will be my tax rate will be X lookup, and this will be my tax rates. Okay, one second. And I will be wanting this one. And again, the smallest match. And one second, let me convert it into percentage format. And you can see here, if the income is more than 16 lakhs, you can get the idea. I am crossing the limit, right? So that's what I wanted. I've got 13 percentage. Now I want the running text X lookup. And again, you can say this way, and then just simply my lower match again. And you can get the idea. I've got this one. So let's go again with this way. Okay, 1 6. And you can see here I have got this much amount, right? Now what will be my total tax? It will be 10 lakhs minus 9 lakhs plus 45,000, right, into the tax rate. So what we can do is we are again coming here. Now that will be my total part right now. Let's just simply do that. And it will be 45,000 plus my 10 lakhs income minus my lower bound income into just simply my tax rate. Okay. And that's it. And you can get the idea. I've got 60,000. All right. And now what we can do is simply my last amount, that will be my taxation amount. It will be simply 60K into 1.04. And that is because we have got 4% is our cess. And you can just see we have got our result. And it will work every time. And just see if I'm coming here and writing here 16, and you will get the idea 187200, and I've got the right amount, right? So this is one of the ways you can simply do it, and now it's all on you. You can nest those functions and do the simple calculations. But when you have got upper bound and everything, you can just simply pull it instead of writing everything into the nested ifs, right? So that was, you can say, prior when I have got Excel 365. And now what can I do is I can use something better, and that is the power of, you can say, the dynamic arrays. So I will give you a concept right now and you will get the idea. Before that, let me copy the wall text brackets again so that I don't mess up this one. Let me remove the helper portion. All right, and that's my income, and that will be my tax amount. I've cleared everything. And now what we can do here, give me a second. And yeah, it is so much hard, right? I never knew streaming will be like this much crazier. There are so many buttons, and I have to check if someone has commented or not. All right, and if I'm going like way too much ambiguous, you can ask the questions as well in the chat as well. Okay, got it. Now you see, right? I have made the changes and I figured out the upper bound in my way. So what am I going to do is I am simply going to make my own bounds in simple this way. So I can now use vstack function, and thus just let's say this is my upper bound and this is my lower bound. All right. And what am I going to do is vstack. I want to start from 0 and then simply going for this much, and from there I want to remove the above part, right? So what am I going to do is I'm going to drop the last element. And you can see here I've got quickly, right? So this is my upper bound and this is my lower bound. All right. And now what we need to figure out is just see in this way. If I have got 16 lakhs income, got it? Let's go with this income. If I've got 10 lakhs income, what am I going to do is I just want to distribute the amount in a way so that I first spend 3 lakhs here, then I spend 6 lakhs here, then I spend 9 lakhs here, or the 3 lakhs amount here. Okay, 3 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 3 lakhs, something like this. You can see here I've got 3 lakhs here, right? Because that amount is distributed. And then what I need to do is I need to again distribute the same amount here because the difference between these two is only 3 lakhs. Got it? And now again, because the difference between them is 3 lakhs, you can get the idea. One second. So you can get the idea. I have spent like 9 lakhs amount till that year. And I've got only one difference, and that will be the fee here. 10 lakhs equals to 10 lakhs minus sum, and let's go with this way. And you can get the idea. I've got 1 lakhs, right? And what it will be doing is I need to just spend here only 1E5. And just see, I've distributed the amount properly in those brackets. So I need to figure out it in a way so that I distribute the amount properly. All right. So what I'm going to do here. So let's just start building our formula one by one. So first what we need to do is just see here. If I'm just starting here, so just see, I have got 10 lakhs minus my lower bound, right? And if you see here, I have spent something like 10 lakhs, 7 lakhs, 4 lakhs, 1 lakh, right? So we are deducting, but what I need to limit is I just need to limit it till here only, right? So what can we do now? So what we are going to do here is just say this way. If, okay, if 10 lakhs is less than equals to this upper bound, then what you give me is, one second. Yeah, got it. So if you see here equals to if my 10 lakhs income, this won't be there, and is greater than this amount, then what I need to do is, because I now am crossing the limit, right? So what I need to do is I need to do this much minus this much. Otherwise, my income minus, one second, minus my lower bound amount, right? Because this is an if statement, I need to use one more variable, and you can see here. Now I have got something like this: 3 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 1 lakhs, right? So we have got at least this much result, right? Now what's the logic here? I will say you this way. Just see here. So if what I simply want to do is I want to get this much amount, right? The 3 lakhs amount. But every time I cannot do 3 lakhs, right? Because what will happen is if I'm going for 12 lakhs here, so I don't want 12 lakhs here. What I need to do here is something like tweak the amount and it will use the 10 lakhs amount. So let's see what is happening here. So if I use something like this way, if my income is is greater than upper, then if that is true, then give me upper minus the lower amount. Otherwise, give me my income minus the lower amount. And that's it. And if you see here, I've got this much. One second. I forgot to make them stage. We are just going till here only. And you can see here, we have distributed the amount, right? So what is happening here? So now you will see here, we have got 10 lakhs. Is it greater than 12 lakhs? So it is saying no, this amount is more than. So it will go for this much amount. Okay. And it will evaluate this statement. You can get the idea, right? So it is directly jumping to here. That's the main thing here. But here, if I go down way, you can see here I am getting the negative amount. So what I need to figure out is if my income is less than, okay, now I need to stop here. If my income is getting less than this lower amount, then what I need to do is I just simply do the less amount. Got it? But to simply restrict it to zero only so that I don't go into the negative part. So that's what I'm going to do because it will be an overriding statement. So I'm going for starting here. So what I'm going to do if my income is less than equals to the lower amount, then give me zero or otherwise I am good to go for the next conditions. And you will see here I've distributed the amount properly here, right? And now you can see here this is the total 10 lakhs amount. And now what we can do is this is no longer needed and this is my distributed, and I have to calculate my tax amount in this much on this much amount, right? And the moment you do that, you can see here I've got the amount. And what I need to do here, just simply adding this much amount and then just multiplying it to sales amount, and that's it. And it is so much simpler now, right? Just one if statement, and you can see here I've got everything what I wanted, right? So that's how we can use it again and again. And what am I going to do is I'm simply now going to mix it up everything and combine it into a let statement. So let's just see what can we do here. And it is again my favorite add-in, that is my, you can say, OA robot. And now you can see here I've got OA upper amount, the tax rates, my income, my lower bound, and everything. My this whole thing is generated, right? And that's how now you can use this amount everywhere. And this is just one simple formula. And if I delete this much whole thing, you can see it is not giving me any error. And now what we can do is we can make a function out of it, right? It is as simple as that. Got it. And what we can do is if we are going to make a function, so let me do something like this before going there. And what I'm going to do here, this is my upper amount, right? So I'm going for input market, input, input sales, and then just simply going for, because I need these many amounts, right? Upper amount, then income, and these two I want, and the tax rate. And now all I can do is simply generate the lambda statement. And let's just directly go for this way. Save as lambda. The moment I do that, now you can see here I've got my upper tax rate, income, and my wall formula is ready. And let me show you something. So income tax calculation, and that's it. I'm not going for more deeper here. And you can see here I have quickly generated my formula. And next time you don't have to do so many things. You're simply coming here 116 one, one second, convert to number, and you can simply see I just have to press income tax calculation and that's it. One second. Okay. The reason being is I have to provide the upper amount, my tax rates amount, and then just simply my lower amount. And that's it. One second. This is an annoying error, but yeah, you can see here you can quickly generate. You can say the formula, you've got the formula and just have to pass out the upper amount, tax rate, and everything. Right? So we are good to go, right? All right. Should I end up my live stream? I don't think so because this thing is again annoying. Thing is, I have to use the if statement. Can we simplify it with something else? So let me show you one of the ways you can actually reduce the if statement. So let me go first with the concept part so that you can get idea what I mean. So I don't need to change this much aspect. So let's directly go here only. So what I'm going to do is just see here maximum. Or let's just say simply, I want minimum amount of these two, right? And you can see here, I've got this much amount, right? 3 lakhs, 6 lakhs, 9 lakhs, right? And now what can I do is I am just simply going to minus my lower amount. And that's it. You can see here I've got this much amount. I don't have to write the same if statement again and again. So you can see here I've got this much amount, and now what can I simply figure out is I have to minus it out, right? So I don't want the negative portions here. So simply I can come here and pass out the maximum part. I will tell you the logic as well, what is going on here. So you can see here I've distributed the amount, and there is not any longer formula now. So what is happening here? Let me tell you. So you can see here it will take C5, that is 3 lakhs, right? So I am taking minimum amount of either my income or my upper amount. Okay. And here also it will be similarly 6 lakhs is less than 10 lakhs, right? So that's why I am getting less amount here. That is 6 lakhs. And then I am minusing that 3 lakhs. So I am getting the amount 3 lakhs. But the moment I come here, you can see the idea. I'm getting 12 lakhs here and I am getting 10 lakhs here, right? So the moment I do that, I will be getting minimum amount of these two amounts, and that will be my 10 lakhs. And 10 lakhs minus 9 lakhs, it will be only 1 lakh. And here what is happening is if I do this much calculation, you will see here I am getting the negative amount. But I don't want the negative amount as well. And at the same time, if it is a positive value, what I need is the positive value. Got it? So what I'm going to do is simply maximum getting the maximum value out of zero or the positive amount, and that's it. So if my amount is going in negative side, so I will get zero, or if my amount is more than one or more than zero, then I will get that amount. You can see here I've got this much, and now what can I do is I can simply multiply this amount into this amount, and that's it. You can see here, and let me sum this whole part and you will get the idea what I mean, right? So that's one way we can do this crazy. We have reduced the crazy formula in just simple step. But the problem again comes. The thing is that if you have like uh, watched that, if you were in the Sunday gaming learning session where we have discussed about unleashing the power of lambdas, we have discussed amply where the problem can be when spilling doesn't happen. It is when we are working with the aggregation function, and maximum, minimum, and function, some function, you can say the average function, they are the aggregation function. Because what happens is when you select the whole range, they will aggregate the data and give you just simple one answer. So that's the problem here, and we cannot do anything here, right? So how can we make it scalable? Okay, so that we can make a complete lambda function out of it. You can say that. So what am I going to do is I'm simply going for the same concept again, and you can see here my this amount and this amount is a outside parameter here, right? They are changing, but my this amount is not changing. So what I need to figure out is how to select these two data so that I can make it spillable. So let me try one thing so that I can get the idea if this is working. All right, and let's just say autofill down. Okay, so Eric has made this brilliant formula, and you can get the idea what he has done here. He has quickly generated my lambda function here with, you can say, getting the idea because my this range was spilling and this was just, you can say, just constant. So never mind, it just quickly made it properly. So what we are going to do, I will share with you. So we have done actually is I will make it one by one here. So let me do, yeah, this was my formula, right? So I am selecting the map function that will be my first range and my this range, right? And then finally, what am I going to do is lambda, that will be my upper amount and that will be my lower amount, because my I have selected the ranges in this way, right? And now what am I going to do is I am just simply replacing the value of my current iteration, and that will be my upper amount, and here it will be my lower amount. And because I am getting dynamic result, I won't be needing Okay, one second. I won't be needing to make it hard anchoring. Okay. The moment I do that, and you can see here, I quickly generated the map function. Now this is again, we can make it spillable into my text rates, and that's it. I've got my amount, and now you can quickly generate the let statement here, or you can just say, you can quickly generate the lambda statement as well and save it as lambda. So I prefer normally this approach because maximum and minimum is so much easier than figuring out the ifs part. And honestly, I work with most of the time max, median, and minimum function, and they can literally reduce my nested if part. And this is the way you can now generate income tax formula, save it in a lambda format, and then you can copy it again and again. All you need is simply, you can say this much. And if you want, okay, let me just directly do it. If you want not to make it in a, you can say, hard coded values, so what you can do is just see here, generate let statement. And what can you I do is just see, I'm converting this to a value. And you can see I've got array quickly. And the text rate again value portion, and that's it. I've got the amount. One second. I think it might not work properly. I made a mistake somewhere, but yeah, not a problem. I know it's all fine. So I don't know what happened wrong there, but yeah, you can hard code the values and it will be very easy thereafter. So now that's my way to calculate income tax and in very plain simple way instead of making those nested formula, nested if statements. And that's how nowadays I simply calculate the, you can say, income tax. And now I don't actually make it again and again. I simply save it as a lambda, and that's how I do it. So if you have got confusion somewhere, you can ask me now, or otherwise, we will be wrapping up the things. And I am very grateful that you guys waited this long because, yeah, every time I am getting this issue nowadays now of, you can say, again and again. And like this is again an interesting part for me as well to figure out new things every time I find out, okay, this is again a glitch, I have to do something of that. All right, so no questions, guys. Did you guys really understood it in first go? Because I have spent a lot of time understanding these formulas and everything. So if you have questions, you can ask me now, or you can uh, s- comment as well, and then I will solve it later on. All right. So enjoy your weekends, guys. I hope, and I hope you guys have learned something new this time. All right. Have fun, guys. See ya. Bye bye.